Knight, I don't care what nobody says. This video should be about Ahsoka and no one else. Well, voice, there are other great female Jedi. Who? The bald chick with the wide eyes from the game Jedi Fallen Order?
I think not!
Hey, bald women can be attractive too. Not when their eyes are staring into your soul like they're looking for some lost change. I swear to you, Knight, that woman has not blinked once in any of the games she's been in. Look, she's not that bad. You're right, she's worse. Girl not only got embarrassed by Darth Vader once, but twice. And the second time she shaved her head and everything. Changed her clothes too. And still died. What the hell was she hoping to do with a shaved haircut in the dream? Blind them? Well, she was probably trying to distract them. Man, she would have been better off throwing a bomb or something at them rather than fight them head on. Or better yet, do what every other black woman do when they see a man in all black with a sharp object walking towards them slowly and breathing heavy like Jason. Run! Then hide and then maybe cry, but not too much. Especially not for her. Then where the works would cause floods. That's a safety hazard. Okay, we get it. She sucks. She sucks, okay? I get it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Racist? What do you mean racist? You hate her because you hate black people. What? I hate her because her big ass eyes scare the hell out of me. They freak me out. We are not the same. I am not a racist. Oh, really? Then why is the video completely about Ahsoka, huh? Huh, Knight? Huh? Could it be because you don't like her sexy melatonin skin? I do like her sexy melatonin skin, and there are other sexy Jedi waifus to talk about. And by the way, Ahsoka is not black. She's a Togrunta. A tortilla? Hey, leave the Mexicans out this night. Bro, I'm gonna smack you. I'm just saying there's other sexy Jedi waifus out there, like Rey, maybe. Oh, you disgust me. You just had to choose the white chick, didn't you? Okay, what about the blue one, Secura? Oh, so every other color's fine, but not chocolate, huh? Bro, that's not what I meant. Nah, admit it, Knight. You hate the dark side, don't you? Do not try to twist this. That's not what that phrase means. Accept the dark side, Knight, or be called racist for no reason. Never! Okay, for those who don't know, a Jedi or Jedi Knight is a devotee to the ways of the Jedi Order, an ancient order of protectors united by the ability to harness the power of the Force, adhering to a doctrine that favors the light side of the Force. The Jedi aspire to attain a state of inner tranquility, true calmness, and meditation, while avoiding emotions affiliated with the dark side of the Force, such as anger and hatred. Hey Knight, skip to the good part. Can we get those cheeks or not? I'm trying to see what Ahsoka can do with those little hair modules. That's not the question for this video. The question is, would it be wise to marry a Jedi? Marry a Jedi, blah, 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 whatever. Let's move on. Hey! When I was looking up all those boring facts, I was studying the good stuff. For instance, a pro I found for all Jedi is a Jedi mind trick. Now, how's that a pro? It's simple. Theoretically, by using this technique, a Jedi could theoretically give you insane. Yeah. If you know what I mean. Let me cook. The Jedi mind trick is a well-known example of the Jedi subtly influencing a weak-minded person's thoughts and emotions. Now, a more potent form of this ability is called dominant mind, which, the dark side uses. And dominant mind, by the way, gives a user direct control over a person's body and mind. But since Jedi have a code, and their code is against using their abilities for personal gain, they don't use the dark side version. In comparison, their version is more of a persuasion technique. But it is still a form of manipulation that violates an individual's free will and therefore requires careful and ethical consideration and mindful use to avoid negative consequences for the target. But more or less my point is, they can use this ability to blow your mind, and that's alright. And I mean, this is because it's both a physical and psychological event involving intense pleasure signals to the brain. A Force user with such complete mental and emotional control could certainly more likely theoretically trigger it, but it can't be proven, so move out of the way. Hey, Anakin got twins out of Padme on his first try. He was doing something. Get out! Sorry about that. November's coming up, and he gets a little antsy during this time period because I'm about to clank for a whole month. No! I'm about to
lock his ass up. Lock his ass up.
Now, another pro, and what Voice forgot to mention, is that Jedis are allowed to have. However, a con is they're not allowed to get married, and they're not allowed to form attachments. And they're not really allowed to have children. And they're not allowed to do these things according to the Jedi Order, because they believe that attachments can lead to jealousy, fear of loss, and possessiveness, which are all pathways to the dark side of the Force. And honestly, they're not wrong. Just look at Anakin. Yeah, the Jedi Order is wrong. Voice here is in constant pain in that suit, and his wife, Padme, is dead. But, cool powers, badassery, and unlimited power! So you would just sacrifice everybody you love for unlimited power, is that what you're saying? Hey, just so you know, Knight, you would not be missed. What? Yeah, dark side mother. So like I was saying before I got rudely interrupted, you would not want your Jedi waifu to go down this path. It would not end well for her or you. Now there are some that the Jedi Order has made exceptions for, at least in the Legends continuity, and more or less in the Legends continuity, Luke Skywalker established a new Jedi Order, and in this new Jedi Order, Jedi could form attachments, and certain exceptions were made for marriage for Jedi like Ki-Adi-Mundi. The Order allowed this guy to get married and have multiple wives because he was a Syrian, which is a species with a very low birth rate. More or less to let him get married for his species' survival. But, and very unfortunately, the Legends continuity is no longer the canon thanks to, you know, Disney. Yeah, from what I read, when Disney acquired Lucasfilm, they wanted a clean slate, or more or less they wanted to create their own stories with the Star Wars franchise. So when they took over, the Legends continuity became technically uncanon. Isn't that just great? Disney sucks! Agreed. Now I want to make this clear. In the Legends continuity, Jedi could get married, but in the old traditions of the Order, they could not. But for the very least, for the old Order, a pro is that they could show love in terms of compassion, but also this is love with no attachments. So more or less they could show love or compassion, but they were not allowed to be consumed by this love or compassion. A Jedi cannot become a slave to his or her emotions because that can lead to the dark side. You know, as seen with Anakin. Now Anakin isn't the only Jedi who faced tragedy because of his decisions. There was also once a Jedi named Jolee Bindo or Bindo, and Jolee had a wife named Nayama, and long story short, she betrayed him for the dark side, and she was eventually killed. Tragic! Tragic! And I have to add, Nayama basically betrayed her husband because she was seduced by the promise of a Sith Lord. Now, just from what I've read, I come to realize that because Jedis hold a bunch of power in the palm of their hand, it may be very easy for them to be seduced by the dark side, especially with attachments of, you know, love, marriage, and etc. And if that's the case, maybe it is really best for them to follow the code and not form any real attachments. And you know, maybe instead of marriage, you just settle for like a one-night stand with no strings attached. I could be happy with that. I don't know about you. But then again, most of the tragedies I read about involving marriage mostly happened during times of war. So that could have been a factor that attributed to the Jedi going, you know, to the dark side. And also Luke Skywalker in the Legends continuity did get married. He actually got married to a woman named Mara Jade, and she is bad! But yeah, they seem to have had a happy marriage, and they even had a son named Ben Skywalker. But then again, the Legends continuity is technically not canon. But do we really care? No. Exactly. Why? Because Disney sucks! Exactly. So whether it would be worth marrying a Jedi depends on, well, the Jedi in question, the continuity of the story, and more likely whether it's wartime in the story or not. Now, before we go to the next part, voice, any comments or criticisms? Of course, for one, Anakin Skywalker's crash out was valid, and he did no wrong. I mean, he did murder a lot of people. Hey, he murdered a lot of people in the first place because he was consumed with fear of Padme dying in childbirth, and because of his constant distrust in the Jedi Council. And by the way, have you seen Padme? Girl, fine. Man, ain't no way Padme's fine enough to crash out over.
Oh my goodness!
Well, I stand corrected. Alright, finally it's time for the fun part. The first waifu we're going to talk about is a blue Twilight Jedi, Aayla Secura. Her species is also known as tailheads or twees, and they're occasionally called Rolotheans. Gotta hope I pronounced all that right, these names are weird. Anyway, a Twilight is a tall and honestly kind of sexy, near human species whose most striking feature was a pair of long appendages protruding from their skulls called Leku. And honestly, Secura's most striking feature isn't that head, it's that body! And maybe her head if you're a freak, like me. Now her home planet is a planet called Ryloth, and the females of this planet are usually exported off-world as slaves. And we all know what kind of slaves they are. Come on, you know. Now Secura was a Jedi Master during the waning years of the Galactic Republic, serving as a Jedi General during the Clone Wars. And her first pro is, obviously, she bad. And she knows she bad. Girl go on the battlefield on the Force, protecting those tickle biggies. Oh my. Also another pro for her is that she's a Twi'lek. And because she's a Twi'lek, she has Leku, which are shapely prehensile tentacles that grow from the crown of her skull. Now these Leku could be used for grabbing or holding objects, but my main point is, they're super sensitive. Look, y'all know what I was thinking, don't judge me because I'm creative. I would at least ask for consent first. Oh, and I wish someone in the comments would say, oh, I won't touch tentacles, that's nasty. Yes, she would. Look at her. Yes, she would. Matter of fact, that's the first thing some of y'all thought of when I mentioned her. What did those tentacles do? That was the question in your mind. And I answered it because I knows you. Also, her only con is she's dead. She died during Order 66. Tragic. And just for those who don't know what Order 66 is, I'm gonna let Ghetto Voice explain that. Ghetto Voice, go ahead. The clones were tripping. Motherfuckers died. Big booty blue bitch in the grave now. Darth Sidious the ops. And we gonna spin the block later. But now, we cry. Yeah, she's canonically dead. I ain't gonna cry about it though, ain't no. Hey, put the gun down, put the gun down. Nah, you may be the Gator voice, but I'm the real one. Put the gun down and suffer in silence. Alright, next one up is Satele Shan. She's a Force-sensitive human female who served as a Jedi Order's Grand Master during the Cold War and the Galactic War between the Galactic Republic and the Sith Empire. Now she is canon in the Legends continuity, and she's shown in the game Star Wars The Old Republic. And as you can see from this clip, she is bad! She had that hero landing saved up. She knew she was gonna cook with that. You go ahead, girl, with little twin tails. You got a weird shaped head though. You better not ever go bald. We know how that looks. Tragic. Fortunately for us, she'll never go bald because she's dead. Currently in the Legends continuity, she died of old age and a broken heart. And she died of a broken heart mostly because of a Republic trooper named Jace Malcolm. Now Sean and Malcolm had an affair, and I'll consider this a pro for Sean because this means she's willing to break her code for someone that she really cares about. But unfortunately, this relationship ended because Sean feared that Jace would turn to the dark side. Unfortunately for her though, she was already pregnant with the dude's baby. And instead of telling Jace that she was pregnant, she kept it a secret. Damn, these Jedi women trifling. Now apparently, Jace found out that they had a son, but years later. Yeah, this one may be wise to smash, but I think relationship-wise or marriage-wise, nah, she a bit trifling. Like, I have to repeat this, the only reason she kept her son away from Jace was because she feared that he would turn to the dark side. But honestly, in my opinion, she could have tried to lead him away from the dark side instead of like, end the relationship. Because for all she knew, ending the relationship could have just made him go to the dark side faster. And then you don't tell the man you're pregnant with his baby? Come on, girl. That's trifling. That's some bull. Y'all could have had a happy marriage. Y'all could have had more backbreaking nasty and you could have recorded it. But no, you just had to leave. Damn it, woman. Next one. Now the next one up is obviously Ahsoka Tano. And I think Knight called her a Togrunta before, but that's because he can't pronounce. Hey, I tried. Hey, you failed. You're a failure. Her species name is actually pronounced Togruta, and Togruta are sentient humanoid species native to the planet Shili in the Star Wars galaxy. They're known for their distinctive features, including their stripped head tails called leku, and hollow horn-like sensory organs called montrals. Now the females have a longer leku than the males, and all Togruta have multiple stomachs, which I see as a pro, for reasons. Yeah. Look, her main pro is she's hot, and she's
The GOAT! The GOAT!
She was the Padawan of Anakin Skywalker, also known as Darth Vader, and currently in her story, she's not even identified as a Jedi anymore because of her past. Now what caused this in her past was her being framed for bombing a Jedi temple, which obviously she didn't do, but either way she was expelled from the Jedi Order, and this scarred her deeply, but also fostered her independence. Now her not being a Jedi technically anymore is definitely a pro. Why? Because she's free to do what she wants, with unlimited power! So now currently in her story, she trains someone named Sabine to be a Jedi Light Warrior, simply because she wants to pass down positive lessons of the Jedi without the corrupting scriptures of the Jedi Old Order. And honestly, I don't care what anyone says, Ahsoka is definitely worth it. Mostly because she can likely do that Jedi mind trick where she can blow your mind! But tell me what you think in the comments. Is marrying a Jedi waifu worth it? Now not all of them like Anakin Skywalker, they do not have to go to the dark side or immediately go to the dark side if they break a couple rules. At the end of the day, going to the dark side is a choice. So again, tell me what you think in the comments, and you guys have a great day. Bye!
What did you want?